good afternoon and welcome to today's vlog, Wednesday the 29th of April. I hope everybody is well. Apologies, my phone holder, which broke the other day, it seems to be on its way out again, so I'm hoping it's not too wobbly. Also, it's absolutely blowing a gale outside. I'm on the motorway, so I'm getting buffeted a bit, but I hope that doesn't spoil your entertainment too much. Going to start today, vloggers. I meant to mention this last Friday and it completely slipped my memory. Most of you, I'm sure, watch Dave at Anvil Courier Collective, and Dave just mentioned on Friday that he's going to have a little break from doing his videos. Totally get it, it makes absolute sense. I had the same sort of March. I had a very, very bitty month coming up, and I didn't really think with this, I think you need a bit of consistency. It gives you an idea of how the market is going and how busy or not work is. And I think where I was in March, very, very up and down, 3-day weeks, a 2.5-day week. I was away for a week, I had a half a day here, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't going to give a very good overall impression of how the market and the trade was going. And obviously I think all of us, I'm sure one or two of you are doing really, really well at the moment, but I think most of us are struggling a little bit, and totally get it from Dave. Have a break, have a reset, and come back, and he can concentrate on trying to secure his own customers as well, which will make a very, very interesting set of vlogs every week if he's got his own customers and the problems or benefits that brings. So I look forward to welcoming Dave back very soon. We have back though Delivery Man. I'm sure again most of you watch Delivery Man on YouTube. He's been away for a couple of months, having had a back operation, which seems to be a success, so that's good news. And he came back, I think, Wednesday last week. I think there was some vlogs for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then again on this Monday. He works a week behind. I don't think there was anything yesterday because he had other commitments, but he's back as well. So yeah, all good news. I want to mention a shipper on the CX. I seem to making a habit of this at the moment. Now I'm going to get their name right because there are quite a few companies with very similar names, but it's Fast Forward UK Couriers. I have never heard of them before this morning. Based in Leeds. Never worked for them, have no idea anything about them, but it sparked my interest because there was a job they were advertising from Colchester CO7, which is where I live. I couldn't do the job, I was nowhere near it, but in some ways I'm going to give them a little bit of praise because I mentioned about shippers should put their terms and conditions on job posts. I think it's really important, especially when it comes to sort of cancellations and waiting time, and to be fair, this guy has done that, so I'm going to give him a pat on the back for that. However, not a pat on the back for the rest of it. He's got about 24 positives for delivery, so that's fine, and I'm guessing that might be what his main strand of the business is. When it comes to payment, he's got no positives and 1 negative, so that would be a red flag for me straight away if I'm looking to work with a potential new client. But it's what he says in the job details. He wants your price including tax. Now, first of all, I think he means VAT. I'm sure he means VAT. But that wrong terminology raises another red flag for me. It raises a red flag anyway that you've got to include VAT, but the fact he uses the word tax and not VAT worries me a little bit. He also asks you to print your own signed POD. Now I don't know whether he literally means a printed one or whether a handwritten one. I don't have a problem with handwritten ones, I do it quite often, so I've got no sort of issue with that, but it's another little thing. But this is the key to it. He has stated that there is 1 hour free waiting time upon collection and delivery. Now I've got to be honest, when I first started this I used to say it was an hour for me. That came from my days in the haulage industry. If you run in trucks, you probably expect to be on site for a collection delivery maybe even 2 hours before you'd start thinking about charging. But he is saying 1 hour free, after which your waiting time will be paid at £10 an hour. Now that is another red flag for me, where I wouldn't work for him, because looking at where the pickup is on this job, and I obviously know the area because I live there now, it looks like it's going to be a farm. And if you're picking up from a farm and it's fresh produce, you could be waiting, because it's literally being picked in the fields in the morning, being packaged up and then being sent on. I don't know it's that, I'm just guessing, but you know, if you're going to have potential to sit around and wait, I want more than £10 an hour. His cancellation charge is also just £10. Unless I was right on it, and because if I was sitting at home, I literally probably would be 10 minutes away. But £10 for cancellation when you've got to run, cost of fuel, don't think many people are going to be interested in that. So always important, look at the notes on the jobs in full, and if there's any red flags, and I've got about 4 there, then it's probably best to leave it alone. But he may be a good guy, I don't know. I wish him well if he is. Right, on to today. I left you yesterday afternoon. I was doing that sort of wait and return job from Witham up to Norwich. I really like that job. It's such a straightforward job, picking the boxes up. I don't mind handballing the boxes on and off the van. It's only documents, it's not heavy. They're really nice people at both ends. It's a lovely drive up to Norwich, about an hour and a half each way. I was all done by 3:30 yesterday. Didn't get another job, a couple of things around, but didn't really interest me, and I thought, no, do you know what, I'm just going to tootle my way home, and I was home for about 4:30, which was perfect. If I could do that job 2 or 3 times a week, I don't know how often it comes out, I would. I really would. Especially at that time of day, it's perfect to do a job in the morning and then go and do that as a second and final job. But anyway, I'll keep my eyes open for it in the future. So managed to get another job on the way home yesterday. It was from Hadley. Hadley is sort of halfway between Colchester and Ipswich, just off to the left a bit, about 15-20 minutes off the A12 down some sort of country lanes. Nice little town. That was going to Basildon in Essex. It was a long wheelbase job, 55 miles, and I put a price of £80 on it and got a phone call straight away. So that was good. The only little thing was it was going to be a 9 o'clock pickup, but that doesn't deter me. I turned up on site at 8:15. It was a little bit confused. Well, not confusing. I was told to go to building X. I found building Y and building Z, and then I found building X. It was sort of round the back, which was fine. But there was nobody there, so I had to go back to building Y, speak to someone there, and they said, oh, there is someone in there. I'll give him a call. He rang him, said there's a guy coming round, he'll be with you in 1 minute, needs loading up. So we got it all sorted, on site 8:15, and I was away at 8:35, so no real hold up, just a little bit. Straight journey down to Basildon, got there at 9:45. Off site 9:55. It was only a pallet, came off nice and easy. I was all done, and I was going to go and get a cup of coffee. However, another job appeared. Now, as per normal, I'm not getting jobs that are next to where I am. It seems to be a dying trend. But there was a job 30 minutes away from Malden, which is sort of on the outskirts of Chelmsford, and that was going to Westerham. Westerham is better known as Biggin Hill, but it always gets put down as Westerham. That was also for a long wheelbase, 53 miles. I put a price of £70 on it. It is an okay shipper. They do try and skimp you a little bit on the price. If I probably would have preferred 80, but I went with 70, and they did give me a call. I was going to be there, I think 35 minutes away. I was going to be there 5 minutes after their sort of latest time, but they were fine with that. Got on site, it was 22 not heavy packages, they were about 20 kilos each. It was printed stuff. The guys there put it on the back of the van, and I went and stacked it sort of all the way down the length of the van in stacks of 4. So it filled the floor of the van, but no issues. Off site 10:50. On my way down to Westerham. I was desperate, needed a coffee and a toilet, so I did have a little 15-minute break. I know you're not supposed to on direct deliveries, and they did say it must be a direct delivery, but I only had to stop for 15 minutes to go to the loo and collect a coffee. I got on site for 12:20. Have to say, this place will go down as one of the most uncooperative places I've ever delivered to. The packages, they weren't heavy, but I said to the guys when I turned up, like, got 22 packages. He said, oh, I'll get you a pallet. Okay. He went and got a pallet and dumped the pallet at the back of on the floor outside the back of the van. The two guys there, no, they could have quite easily lifted the pallet up with the forklift to make the unloading process a little bit easier. But as it goes, I then had to bring all the packages to the back of the van and then take them out and stack them all on the pallet. While basically they just sit inside their little office inside the warehouse. Didn't take long. I was off site by 12:35, but it's just like, come on guys, you know, you can do a little bit here. So they could have done the loading process in reverse. I could have brought it to the back of the van and they could have stacked it on the pallet. But anyway, it is what it is. I was off at 12:35. I needed a break, I needed some lunch and stretch the legs, so I was able to park up just round the corner and have some lunch. I wasn't really interested looking at anything till 1:30, and that's what I did. I left it alone. I think it's lunchtime, I'm gonna have a break. Started looking again at 1:30, and I'm already again made my mind up. I don't think I'm going to pick anything up locally. There is work out of Westerham, Brigging Hill, and sort of Tonbridge and Tunbridge Wells surrounding, and Sevenoaks. There wasn't a lot of vans around where I was looking at sort of Grays and the other side of the Dartford Tunnel, and there was quite a lot of vans. Gave it till 2 o'clock, absolutely nothing appeared, so I thought I'm going to start making my way back. Just as I went past the M20 turn-off, a job came up from Maidstone going to Chelmsford. I've done this job a few times. It was a small wheelbase job. It's 59 miles. I put £60 on it, which is basically £1 a mile, and obviously you've got the tunnel to pay. But from my point of view, it's literally the place you collect is 1 minute off the M20, and the delivery is 1 minute off the A12. It's again another straightforward, simple job. I'd say I'd just gone past the M20, so I took a chance, went up to the M2 and turned round and made my way back the other side. And just as I did, I got a phone call. So I was 25 minutes away. Got there at what time was I there? About 2:50. About 2:50. I'm looking at the time now. Didn't write it down. 2:50. They were just finishing loading a van. When they were done, they just put the pallet on me, and I was away about 3:10. I'm going to be in Chelmsford. It just depends on the traffic. I don't know what the tunnel's like. Not too bothered, but it'll be a straight offload by forklift, and that will be me done. So good day today. 3 jobs, £80, £70 and £60. A total of 210. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. No stresses really on the job. Couple of little things, but I'm being really picky. Yeah, and that's it. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to drop that off. I've got a late start tomorrow. I've got doctors again tomorrow morning. I've got to go and get the results of my blood tests from Monday, and I'm also due my my annual wonderful prostate examination. Wonderful, can't wait. So yeah, got that to do tomorrow. So providing, because being a bloke, you know, that we can be in so much pain with that. I don't look at that as enjoyment, but I'm sure some of you do. We'll probably get on our way about 9:30 tomorrow and see if we can find a job and try and get a decent day in. I hope you're well. Hope you've had a good one, and thanks for watching. Take care. We'll talk tomorrow. All the best. Cheers, Paul.